Wonder Valley is a land of contradictions. It looks barren, like a wasteland in certain spots. Other areas are beautiful. I think Ken Lane said it best in his book Desert Oracle. There are 900 people living in all of Wonder Valley. Seems like a lot of people. I've never seen more than 50 people in Wonder Valley at one time, and that was at the Palms. It's funny to think about in a community that's so sparsely populated that the largest concentration is at the local live music venue. Wonder Valley is about 12 miles east of 29 Palms if you follow the 62. It's a desert area that the government wanted people to move to back in the 1950s. They promised free land if the developer could develop it within a certain period of time. This was all made possible by the Small Tract Act of 1938, which enacted in response to requests by primarily World War I servicemen who wanted to move out into the desert for health and recreational purposes. Subsequently, after World War II, Southern California began looking for small acreage in the desert to get away from the smog and population centers. The Small Tract Act was about the only method for making federal land available. Local counties were enthusiastic about getting the land off their tax rolls and were not concerned about the infrastructure. So there was a sort of land rush, and people snatched up these parcels and began building on them. Over time, the most common structure that was built was a 400 square foot recreational cabin. Fast forward to today, and most of these cabins are now abandoned. I'm not sure what the ownership status of these, but some are still in the original family. Objects in the desert stay around for a while. The desert is wide open and doesn't hide things. Distances seem further and you can see forever. It feels like time stands still. I think this is what attracted me to exploring the desert, and I think this is what inspires people to create things in the desert. Wonder Valley is about 150 square miles, and the majority of the valley sits between State Route 62 and Amboy Road. These two roads are what you would experience on your typical desert road trip. The 62 leads to Arizona, and Amboy Road leads to the Amboy Crater. People call these roads lonely, but that's not really the case. The 62 is where most of the abandoned cabins are located, and most of the art installations are located off Amboy Road. I hike this area a lot. Most of the time I just start from one of the roads and I try to figure out what's public property and what's private property. And I basically just hike out. Sometimes I look at Google Maps and sometimes I don't. I started exploring Wonder Valley because Joshua Tree became too crowded due to COVID. I heard a lot of different rumors about this place. My wife and I were unsure if we should even hike here. We came out during the day and took a look at it, and came back later that night just to see how scary it was. It was quiet and lonely, but that's what we liked about it. This was back in 2020. Right after the pandemic started. Because of the pandemic, people wanted to go places like this. They wanted to go somewhere where there weren't other people. And the area changed. Airbnb started popping up. Other people started buying cabins and rebuilding them. People don't want big resorts coming in, which big resorts have tried coming in. Some large corporation applied for permits, and the locals were able to block it somehow. As for people coming in and buying old cabins and rebuilding them to use on the weekends, the locals seemed to be okay with that. From the very start, when I started going to Wonder Valley, I saw artwork right on the side of the road. I kept coming across just random pieces of art that people would do on vacant lots or just on the side of the road. One day I drove further down and I came across these red doors that were just sort of out in the open on this 5-acre lot. I'm not sure why they are there. This other time I was out by the palms and I came across this sculpture. I have no idea what it is. This was on Amboy Road, and there were other pieces out there, like these boxes that were different colors and had different photos on them. Just last week, I found this area that's got these different box springs that were propped up that people attached different items to. I've driven by this one a few times on my way to Arizona and finally stopped. I'm not sure why people like creating these pieces out in the desert. I think when they get out there and they see the wide open area, I think it just inspires them. A lot of the art is made by locals, but there is one art co-op called High Desert Test Sites that is responsible for bringing out individual artists as well as creating the larger pieces. Every year the High Desert has a week-long art show. It's mostly in Joshua Tree, but does include some galleries in Wonder Valley. Wonder Valley is an area that looks empty, but is really full. It's full of history, it's full of art, and it's full of people that call it home. The desert is going to do its own thing. It doesn't care about the people who first staked claims here, not of the families whose cabins slid back into the sand, not of whoever hauled a box spring onto a vacant lot and made it into something. From the road, Wonder Valley looks empty. Look longer, and you can see more. You can see a history worth preserving, art nobody commissioned, and everybody's free to find. That's the contradiction. A place that seems too quiet to prove it's inhabited, and too full of what people create to prove it's empty.